All right. Welcome back to the CCFR. Welcome back to the CCFR. Damn it. Take
Well, it
two.
didn't take long.
Anyway, we're live, but we'll
Same
have it.
thing.
Right. Son of a
We'll
dick.
catch that in post production.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Yeah, we're all
will
imagining
catch that in post production.
the
By
royal
we, I
we,
mean
Adriel.
Adriel.
Adriel will fix my blunders. All right, here we go. Let's try again. Take 14. Hello and welcome back to Slamfire Radio. Tracy Wilson.
You almost said it again.
I
And
almost said
what
it
are we
again,
doing
right.
right now? Welcome to Slamfire Radio, Tracy Wilson.
Oh, man.
What are we
What? What was
doing?
wrong with that?
Do you want?
Okay, it's
Okay,
the main topic. Okay, all right, fine. I'll do it again. All right, all right.
last chance.
Last chance. Joining.
We're using it. I don't care how many
All right,
times you mess
okay,
it
here we
up.
go.
This is the
Ready?
cut we're using right now.
Okay, all right. Shut up. Shh. Joining us this week for the main topic is Tracy Wilson from the CCFR. Tracy, welcome back to Slamfire Radio.
Thanks, Trev. Nice to be here.
I made it sound easy, didn't I?
That was pretty good. I
I'm
was
a
going to
natural.
take your job, so you're lucky.
Ah, you couldn't possibly take my job. Your current job is way too important to all of us who are gun owners. Tracy, it's post-election. This is your first
Yeah.
interview back on Slamfire since the dismal results of the federal election. And I know that the CCFR has been busy. Unfortunately, we had a war room meeting that I wasn't able to attend. So why don't you just hit the ground running, give us an update, tell us how we're going to move forward.
Okay, so first of all, I've got lots to talk about as far as politics go. One quick thing I just wanted to mention at the top here was the CPC just had their first caucus meeting here in Ottawa. You can say that word all day long, it's fun, caucus. So they had their first conservative caucus meeting here in Ottawa yesterday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, I did a quick live video about this because this was a big deal. This was an opportunity for the conservative members of parliament to possibly do a leadership review, right? To force a leadership issue with Andrew Scheer. And this was something that a lot of media were sort of expecting to happen. Now, you only needed 25% of the MPs to vote for a leadership review. What happens then is a vote is forced immediately on the spot, and Andrew Scheer would need at least 51% of his caucus to agree that he stays in order for him to stay. He did get a pass yesterday. However, there's more to this story because come April, because he lost the election, even though he won the votes, he will be forced to a mandatory leadership review. So,
Good. Let's put Michelle Rampel in there, and
yeah, I know she'd be awesome.
yep.
I wish she was more interested in it, but I was actually thinking, wouldn't she make a great public safety minister?
She would.
Yeah, she would.
Right? Yeah. So we could put that ministry back to its original design purpose, which of
Keep
course
public
is
safe.
to
All
keep
that
public
common
safe,
sense.
which is
Gangs,
like
borders.
guns, drugs, borders, immigration, all that falls under there. Now, of course, with Uncle Ralph being so sleepy the last few years because he's so aged, he was unable to keep track of his portfolio and complete it. So they've had to portion off his job to other ministers and invent ministries that never existed. And anyways, we could simplify that, save the taxpayers a pile of money, and get somebody in there that knows what the hell she's doing. So it would be great in my mind. But anyways, so look forward to a leadership review, a mandatory one in April with the Conservatives. This afternoon, Justin Trudeau met with his caucus here in Ottawa this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Funny enough, he also brought all the MPs who lost. So, Uncle Ralph was here, all those guys who are no longer members of parliament for some reason, of course, were all flown to Ottawa so they could rub
So I
each other's
paid for the
backs.
loser. I paid for the losers to go to lunch.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Well,
wonderful.
another quick little tidbit on the politics here in Ottawa is now that Ralph is out of his seat as a member of parliament, he was one of the longest standing members of parliament here in Ottawa, and he's a party faithful, like partisan to the core, right? I would keep an eye out for him to look for a Senate seat. And
I
I'm
was going to say
sure
they're probably lining up for Senate seats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Justin Trudeau would just love to appoint him one of his not independent senators. So I would keep an eye open for that. There was some other stuff going on here in Ottawa as well yesterday. Paulie se souvient the radical Montreal-based anti-gun lobby held a press conference here in Ottawa at Center Block, and it's kind of interesting because the purpose of the press conference was to ask the feds to, of course, include handguns and all semi-automatics in their assault rifle ban. For those of you listening, I'm doing air quotes because, of course, there's no such thing as an assault rifle in Canada. And they did the usual. They paraded out family members of victims of, horrible tragedies committed by criminals, and somehow implied that legal gun owners are the cause of that. It went largely undetected by the mainstream media because I think at this point, everybody's sick of the same song and dance. We got to get the guns off the streets. And by off the streets, they mean kicking in the doors of grandmothers like me and ripping them out of our gun safes, right? So, yeah, anyways, that's pretty interesting. So they've been creating their own social media posts. They've been at war with me all day today. Interestingly enough, on the warpath as well are the lobby doctors from the Canadian Doctors for Protection from Guns. So they've done this really massive national advertising campaign on radio all across the nation in major
Tracy,
cities. Yeah.
Who's funding them? Are they paying for all this out of their own pocket?
Of course not, Trevor. Like, do you think these doctors and trauma surgeons who, they make a good salary and everything, but they work their butts off for it. Do you think they're willingly spending their own money to go out and gun grab after us? Of course not. This is all fed down through the big funnel that is the Coalition for Gun Control. So, the one.
Where's their primary source of funding coming from?
Well, they do get government funding. They
do we?
Russian government?
I mean,
well,
why are tax dollars paying to fight against something that's legal? Is this one of those things like the same government that taxes VLTs also pays for VLT treatment for addicts?
Right.
Okay,
right.
that's
it's
how that
exactly
works.
like that. So they pay Wendy and her organization to be consultants on public safety issues. And of course, she gets a pool of money.
Then what do the RCMP do?
Whatever Uncle Ralph wanted them to do.
Right? Like,
I guess, well, yeah. I don't really know, but
the fox is guarding the hen house.
Yeah, absolutely. And I made a promise to gun owners that if Andrew Scheer had won, if the Conservatives had won the election, within the first 100 days of their mandate, that I would uncover every dime of funding coming out of the federal coffers to all these groups. Now, he didn't win the election, but I've got some allies within the official opposition party who will be very eager to help me find those tidbits of information. So I think that needs to be exposed if the taxpayers are paying for what they are paying for. I think they have a right to know. Money. Yeah. So this is all leading up to our war rooming. So that's why I'm giving you a little background on what everyone else is doing and what we're going to do about it. So they've got this radio campaign going in every major Canadian city. They've got a great big new website, notbulletproof.ca, where, of course, they talk about how terrifyingly dangerous these firearms are. They put up a bunch of stats about crime and then say we need to ban legal guns. It's, the mental gymnastics it takes to try and connect those two is amazing, yet there they are doing it. So they've got some considerable resources. I did hear from the pro-gun doctors today. As you know, we've got the Doctors for Firearm Safety and Responsibility, and Dr. Riza Murda from that group will be doing an interview on Sunday. So everyone make sure you follow the CCFR social media. I'll be posting all the information. You can listen to Dr. Rita try and defend some of this stuff, especially in Toronto where you've got the medical health officer lobbying city council to lobby the feds for a gun ban. So this is a huge battle. And, at this point, I know we've been saying this all along, is it's up to gun owners to fund their own fight. That's never been more true or more important. We've got all these groups that are, got some pretty sophisticated plans, some significant resources, and we cannot let this stuff go unanswered. We're not going to work quietly behind the scenes or pretend we're doing heavy lifting. We're going to be out there kicking ass every single day. So We did have the CCFR War Room meeting. So Rod and I had been working on some ideas for projects. We're looking at a very short term right now because, as you know, minority governments, like what the Liberals have been reduced to, traditionally have a very short lifespan in Parliament. So we're looking at the next 12 months, possibly the next 18. So we unveiled to the board of directors of the CCFR a whole litany of projects that's going to happen. Some of them are massive national campaigns. It's very exciting. There's going to be stuff that every gun owner in Canada can participate in. There's going to be some high level work done, but as well, there's going to be boots to the ground stuff. So we are going to be looking to gun owners to really step up and help us help them preserve their sport. So I can't really give you the details of that. However, you can watch for stuff to start unrolling in January and February. We've got to get, the framework set up. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. There is a CCFR app coming too. So that's going to be really exciting.
Nice.
So yeah, there's an enormous amount of work. As you know, there's only a paid staff of 3 people here at the CCFR. So we do need some funding. I am looking to hire a 4th. So I'll be putting something out about that. And we will not let any of this go unanswered. So it is a very questionable time right now because the House will resume sitting on the 20th of November. And I believe by December 6th, we should have mandate letters out to the different ministries, as well as, of course, the appointments of those ministries from within the Liberal Party. How much of a priority this gun control stuff will be to them, considering the unrest in the West and, climate and all the other things that they need to be focusing on, I'm not sure. But rest assured, every time Justin Trudeau's in trouble, we know exactly what he does, is he brings out some gun control, right? Just to refocus people. So
he did mention in his little victory speech there, I think the third, he mentioned like 4 points, and one of them was get guns off the streets. And it's an easy one for them, right? Because everybody else, other than conservatives, is like, yeah, guns are bad.
Yeah, well, that's right.
That would be fine if he was actually trying to get them off the streets.
Oh, I agree. I also want guns off the streets.
Yep.
Yeah. However, kicking in my door and taking them out of my safe isn't going to make anyone safer, right? In fact, it's probably going to put a lot of people in jeopardy. So, so there's some unrest right now because we're not sure what's going to happen or how fast it's going to happen. There's some talk about the Liberals possibly putting forth these kinds of ideas like, assault rifle, in air quotes, bans through OIC, which is an ordering council. These are typically reserved for other types of things.
I was just going to say, like, the ordering council was not invented or doesn't exist for this sort of thing. This is not why we have the option of ordering council.
Oh, that's right. So it would be very unconventional for them to do that and a total overreach of their power. So I don't know. I was talking with a journalist today, and
given this government, like, I put nothing past Trudeau. Nothing.
Oh yeah. Well, as we have seen clearly, he thinks there's no rules that apply to him, and they actually don't. He's not wrong, because no matter what he's done or how crazy his behavior is or his outright disrespect for the rule of law, he gets a free pass from the Canadian people. So
he's Teflon.
Yeah, he's Teflon Trudeau for sure.
Incredible.
Yeah. So the CCFR will be really busy. Lots of announcements coming forward. If you don't hear too much from us through the month of December, it's not because we've gone dark or we aren't working. It's because we are literally in the cave crafting some really amazing kick-ass stuff that is just going to blow your mind. So, yeah, stay tuned. There's really good stuff coming. Couple small announcements, too, just to end that off, is on November 16th, which is the last day of the rifle deer hunt here in Ontario, I will be speaking at the Madawaska Fish and Game in Quadville, which is cool because that's where Letterkenny is filmed.
Oh.
So nice.
I know, it's really cool. So Madawaska Fish and Game, they're having an open house range day for anyone who's interested. Come by and shoot some guns. I'm going to bring Little Vicious out for a nice frosty testing. And then we're going to go in the clubhouse once, the darkness falls here in Ontario. And we're going to have a great chat about where we go from here as gun owners in this country. So it's sort of a range day, open house, town hall kind of gig. So November 16th, Madawaska Fishing Game. Also, there's some news out of the CCFR. We agreed to a sponsorship for the television show called Just Hunt with Amanda Lynn Mayhew. So a lot of people have been watching Amanda over the last couple of years. She's really brought a great brand forward as far as women in the shooting sports. She's got some side projects like Take Me Hunting, Take Me Fishing, and Take Me Shooting, which is our programs designed for women and youth to get out and try these things for their first time. She's got a really great audience. And the more I think about it, as an advocate, I always tout that number of 2.2 million gun owners. But realistically, we all full well know there is a large portion of those gun owners that are strictly hunters, and they think the stuff doesn't touch them. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm a hunter and I hunt with semi-automatics, and everything, this community needs a little unity. So, yeah, so I think it'll be a great opportunity to reach some of those people that may not otherwise be involved in advocacy, and a great chance to support a woman in the shooting sports. Nice. And then lastly, a great big announcement, our very own Kelly Kincaid, who was our Ontario Provincial Coordinator, which is actually a really big job trying to, it's like herding cats, trying to get everybody organized for shows and events. And it's been a ton of work. She's done an awesome job. She leaves big shoes to fill in that position. However, she is transferring over to a brand new role here at the CCFR, which is Vice President of Special Events. So Kelly, it's an officer position, and Kelly will remain an officer and will start taking the lead on all major events here at the CCFR. So that includes things like TACOM, Toronto Sportsman Show, which is probably our biggest gun hunting type show. It'll be a great opportunity for her to help with logistics for the CCFR AGM. Some of our ladies' days in certain areas, like the ones that I go to, turn into a 3-ring circus. And they're more than just a ladies' day. They're an event on their own. So there's a lot of these events that we will be participating in and growing as the CCFR grows. And Kelly's talents will be put to good use, helping with that.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So congratulations to Kelly.
Definitely. I couldn't think of a better fit, actually.
Yeah, I think she's so organized and she doesn't fool around. Like people keep calling me vicious, and man, I don't know.
I mean, she's almost as good as our Kelly, but
Hey, we share a brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly squared. That's
Kelly
right.
squared. Yeah.
When the two of them are together, look out. It's scary stuff.
Oh, I know. Sometimes they come over here and we drink wine. So
yeah,
what happens then? Mix a little Tracy in the middle of that, and it's
it's lots of fun.
Yeah, total madness.
Yeah, she'll do a great job of it. She's very organized, as Tracy was saying, but she's also she can get some stuff done with all she has to do is say please and smile, and people are happy to do it.
They know that's right.
Yeah.
But it means that we're going to actually be able to do some really great work with events and get more of those going as well. Get more people, to spread the CCFR message. So it's going to be good. I'm excited about it.
There'll be it'll be great. And there's some of those projects that came out of the CCFR War Room that are literally major events. So there's going to be lots of work for her to do. Totally different type of work. But I believe she's up for the challenge, and I think it's going to be a great success.
Yeah, me too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tracy, that's kind of like the official update and some tips about what's coming up. Now let's speculate a little bit here. Let's just beat around some personal opinions, and I want to share something with you and get some of your thoughts on it. So
sure.
Right now, I believe the time for gun owners, it's the time for gun owners to buy semi-autos, not sell their semi-autos. There's a lot of panic, and people want to start putting stuff in plastic tubes or sell stuff before it's taken away. And so here's my belief. I think that legislation is not always an easy thing to pass. It always takes time, even when you have a majority government. So right now we're in a position where they need to pass legislation to ban or take away our semi-autos, and they're in a position of minority, which makes it even more difficult.
Right.
And minority governments tend to not last. There's a lot of people who believe we'll be back at the polls within 24 months. So I think that we will be at the polls within 24 months. I don't think they'll have the strength to pass any firearms legislation between now and then. The leader of the NDP is not like publicly pro-gun, but he's not anti-gun either. So he may not vote with them when it comes to gun legislation. The Conservatives certainly aren't going to vote with them when it comes to that, because if the NDP thinks he can get gun owners on his side next time around, he's going to try whatever he can. He lost half of his seats.
That's
so
right.
He's kind of desperate. He doesn't want to alienate gun owners. So I don't see this firearm legislation getting passed, and I don't see the minority government lasting. What do you think?
I will agree with you on all of those things. Now, of course, some people are saying because the NDP went so broke with their campaign, one thing I'll say about Jagmeet is he sure loves to campaign, and he did it upright. Now, unfortunately, they drained their bank account so badly that they had to take out a second mortgage on their office building, right? So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. So a lot of people are saying he may do whatever's in his power to prevent another election within 2 years because he's got no money for a campaign. However, so that's a little bit of a stinger there. Now, on the other hand, he's got that totally woke justice, social justice warrior vote thing going on. The young people love the Jagmeet.
They do, man.
He's doing his TikTok videos, and he is so hip and fly. It's not even funny. And what's really funny is, if you remember, 4 short years ago, it was Justin Trudeau that was so woke and so with it, and this truly millennial pleasing type of guy. Well, he is absolutely not. He's a racist. He's had some issues.
He's no feminist.
He is absolutely no feminist.
He put together a rainbow cabinet and then fired anyone who opposed him at all.
Well, yeah, and I mean,
he's
we're failing internationally.
Bootlicker too.
He is a corporate bootlicker.
Oh yeah.
And if he gropes you, you interpreted the situation differently than him.
He'd beat my elbow.
If he likes the lady. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he'd be getting some elbow action right back from me. Oh, sorry. Yeah. You don't look so cute without teeth, but yeah. So I think it's a really interesting dynamic because although the NDP doesn't have any money to take a run at it again, 2 years, although it's a very short time, as far as fundraising goes, look what we can do in 2 years. So So I think it's going to go. I think it's going to go, and I think you will see Trudeau lose that election in 2 years because, of course, by then one of two things will be happening with the Conservatives, who did actually quite well in this election, considering they weren't, the winner at the end of the day. Number one, you're either going to see somebody else taking a leadership role for that party, or you're going to see Andrew Scheer totally reinvented. Either way would be a positive.
You're right. I mean, okay, people dislike him so much that he wasn't able to beat Trudeau. Like, how do you not beat Trudeau? We should have been able to run someone. I'm going to say a bunch of terrible, inappropriate things, so I'm just not going to say anything. But anybody who we ran against Trudeau should have been able to beat him after all the things he did. But people thought that Andrew was so boring and not dynamic. Like you said, they love the woke guy. 4 years ago, they loved Trudeau because he was a social justice warrior. Andrew Scheer is just too plain and too boring for most Canadians. And that's unfortunate because I think he's exactly what we needed. I get no problem with him. Yeah, right.
He's a moderate conservative, and that's why they went with him, because they thought that he'd appeal to everyone. Where he is not somebody, when the chances were there during the debates, he didn't go in for the kill, and people were expecting that. He let this comment slide is what happened. So
I think a new leader.
The Conservatives let the Liberals say, "Oh my God, this guy's so scary. Look at him." And the Conservatives didn't really say, "Screw you guys. That's not how we roll." And I think they let the other parties sort of believe they made people believe what they want to believe about Conservatives. I had a friend going on about how they're voting Liberal because the Conservatives are so homophobic, they're so racist, they're terrible.
Yes, and that should have been challenged.
I gotta tell you, I heard a comment come out of the media yesterday. So of course, the Conservatives had their caucus meeting, and there was a huge media scrum right outside of the caucus chambers. So, the media is there, and it was a total paparazzi thing, right? And Michelle comes out of the caucus room, and she goes up to the cameras, and there's a million cameras and microphones in her face. There's a cool picture on her Facebook and Twitter about it, actually. And they asked her, what was her best thing out of the whole last year. And she didn't say the campaign or the election or any of that. She said, I got two best things. Number one, I got married. And number two, I officiated a gay wedding.
Nice.
That's what, I'm not saying Cheers got to go officiate a gay wedding. I'm not saying that, but these are the kind of that's pretty woke, right? And I know Michelle personally. You guys know that. Yep. And I mean, she's she's pretty hip, but she's also pretty old fashioned.
She would be the perfect leader.
Okay, but is she interested?
No.
So who do you think?
That's the problem. She just got married, right? So she wants to have a life.
She wants to have kids. I know. She wants to have all this. But so of the current people, Peter MacKay.
Yeah. Okay.
Who are some of the other that you think are going to fight for it?
Well, I think Erin O'Toole will, of course, want to challenge leadership. I think Erin O'Toole, as far as looking at it, from a resume perspective, is probably the most, the most credible one to run. Right. However, I know he had a good firearms platform during the last leadership race.
Not as supportive. Yeah,
he would throw that in a minute. I have heard from his own lips some things that I wish I could unhear.
Wow.
Yeah. So he would throw that under the bus in a minute if he thought it would get a couple of votes the other way. So,
Kind of hoping that Conservatives find a woman who's good, who wants to run, just because if we got a really good woman in there, that just kills most of the arguments against the party. About
I think we should go and see if Jody Raybould wants to come over to the other side.
No, Jody doesn't.
Let's
never forget, she is still a very strong liberal.
Go ahead.
She also crafted C-75.
I know.
So she doesn't get flowers from me ever.
Yeah.
She is soft on crime, tough on gun owners. So she can stay in her corner over there. And
not to break up the Conservative love fest here, but
I was just about to break. I was just about to break it up too. We've gone way deeper into politics than we normally do.
Yeah, we did.
It's my favorite thing.
Well, you've gotten incredibly. I've watched you grow and blossom as a political guru. You've come a long way since becoming a lobbyist and understanding the ins and outs of the Canadian political system, and I applaud you for it. It gives most of us a headache, but I've seen it happen before my eyes, and it's very impressive.
I still scratch eyes out sometimes, but
pause.
Not cause.
That's right. Try to remember that. All right. So, we went way deeper into the political rabbit hole than we normally do on the show, but, 'tis the season. We would have done this right after the election, but the topic got bumped a couple of times. So, we will definitely get back to guns. All that being said, I asked to have that conversation because I think that you should be buying AR-15s and building semi-autos, not selling them.
Yes. Okay, I fully agree with you, Trevor, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. If you look at what the Liberals did, okay, so when they had their majority government, Bill Blair was tasked with doing the consultations, the invite only public consultations.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? How liberal is that? Anyways, so they spent a fortune. They spent $250,000 traveling across the country, gathering all this information, doing all these consultations. And when they came out with the announcement of their platform, they only decided to pick on assault rifles in air quotes because there's no such thing, right? And you know why that is? Because there's a lot less of them. The reason they don't want to add handguns to that is because it would cost too much money, because they know there's too many of them. And what they're talking about doing is, instead of grandfathering it, prohibiting it, grandfathering it, and leaving it in your hands, they're worried a conservative government down the road would come in and reverse that, and then boom, you're back to where you were, which is exactly what happens back and forth. So what they're talking about is forced confiscation through a buyback program or
I don't remember them
compensation,
selling
right?
me anything. How can they buy it back?
Right. So here's the thing is if they were to, buy back or compensate gun owners for all their AR-15s and their handguns and their everything, they can't do it. Now, here's the thing. The most crimes in Canada committed with a firearm are with a handgun.
Yeah.
So I'm not advocating banning any guns because I think it's ridiculous. But if the effort here was to remove the guns from society that are supposedly wreaking havoc and causing all this death and decay in our streets, it's not AR-15s. They've never been used. They've been used in one crime in this country, and it was a stolen AR-15. One. So buying more of something makes it way harder to take away, especially when they're talking about confiscation through buyback programs. So by all means, if they haven't released the list, there's no definition for what they consider to be an assault rifle. But I expect a list of 8 or 12 rifles and the Tavors, stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Yep.
They'll put that out there, and then like if this was to even happen. But the more they add to it, the more difficult it's going to be. It's to be honest, excuse me, it'll be impossible. It's impossible. They can't do it.
Yeah. There you go. So
yeah,
get out there.
Can I be the dissenting opinion? I think
Yes.
it's possible. I think they could throw tens of billions at this and buy them all. It doesn't matter if they run a deficit. They've run deficits for the last 4 years. It's just money. It's just our money. They can just.
It's just Alberta's money. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
borrowed.
Yeah.
It's actually the bank's money. It's our interest payments.
So they just need to get the
Yeah.
NDP or the Bloc to like back them up on this gun confiscation.
Sure. Well,
And they'll get
look
it,
at the
right?
timeline, though.
The
So
timeline might
even-
not work.
So even if they last a full 4 years and we don't get that early election, which we always have in history, so there's no reason to think we wouldn't. But worst case scenario, let's say we don't. So what happens is it took them 14 months to get C-71 through. Now the opposition to that was incredible. And by all measure, compared to a complete ban on a whole bunch of semi-auto rifles, the C-71 pretty moderate compared to what they're talking about now, right?
Yeah, and once the hunters find out that it applies to like your Browning 270, for example,
Yeah.
they're not my semi-autos, not my M1 Garand, not my SKS. They don't mean those semi-autos,
1022.
right?
Yeah. Right.
But
So
they do
let's say
Sparky,
they-
and then
They
Sparky
said
wakes
all
up.
semi-autos.
Right. So FUD realizes finally down
Yeah.
the road that this applies to him too, and we piss FUD off. And
Oh,
the
here we
duck
go.
hunters,
But here's the thing. So
Then
let's
there's
say they got
opposition.
that legislation through with the help of the NDP and the Bloc or whoever. Let's just say. So
Bloc,
it would
yeah,
probably
okay.
take at least 18 months to 2 years to get that legislation through. Trudeau was very clear in his platform that he would institute a 2-year amnesty. So you'd have 2 years to give up your guns, right? So if you've got 18 to 24 months to pass the legislation and then a 2-year window of, an amnesty there, that brings you to another election.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
brilliantly thought out.
Yeah. So, I mean, these are all what ifs and, weird calculations, but we're not going to be taking any of this quietly. And at the same time, as always, my second most important part of my mandate above advocating for my community is as a mother and a grandmother and somebody who actually wants to see violence reduced in our streets. I'm going to advocate on behalf of victims groups and everyday Canadians who just want some credible work on crime.
Well, and that's the problem with this stuff too, right? It's not just that they're going to take our stuff. It's that all of those resources are then being diverted away from doing actual good. So it's not that banning guns is just taking stuff. You're actually causing harm to society because all of a sudden you can't hire police officers, you can't buy
Yep.
MRIs. Like all of those resources are wasted. So you're
Sure,
actually
yeah.
causing harm, which I don't
Yeah,
think
and
people think about.
In Toronto, you've got some of those at-risk youth initiatives that are literally, closing up shop and not able to help the kids because they've got no money. You know, they've got even just after school basketball programs tearing down the nets. They got no money.
It's been proven time and time again that those community programs help divert people from crime and gangs. They go to crime and gangs because they're impoverished and there's no resources and no amenities in their community, nothing to do, nowhere to go. So they go to the bad places.
Right.
Idle hands are the tools of the devil. You give these people somewhere to go in an activity in a place where they have a sense of belonging, and literally the whole neighborhood turns around, and then the next neighborhood turns around. So yeah, let's spend money on buying AR-15s that are never used in crimes rather than putting resources into the community to give people something to do other than commit crime. There's no alternative for them because the money was spent on my AR.
And it's, you know, that's the most crucial time to catch crime before it happens, right? It's very expensive, you know, and almost impossible to, you know, revert somebody who's 50 years old and lived a life of crime and done 20 years in jail. And let's catch the kids before they even get there, right? Let's divert them away from the gangs. And that stuff costs a lot of money. And you're talking, Toronto is a massive city with a huge population. You know, they need a lot of money. Literally what they would spend buying back our AR-15s could totally save Toronto.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So
okay, well, that's awesome, Tracy. Thank you very much for coming on and giving us another update. It's always a pleasure, and of course, we look forward to having you on again.
Awesome. Thanks a lot for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Good night.
Thanks, Tracy.
All right, cool. I will be right back, and then we'll start the show. 1 second.
Do you guys want to take like a 5 minute break?
I'm good.
I'm okay.
We'll be back in a minute.
Trevor's gone. Well, that was what Trevor did in guns this week. Moving on.
That's awesome. By the way, I like your patch.
Thank you.
Yep. You can... Oh, jeez.
Oh, that's what he was taking a break for.
Oh, God. What is this Bud Light Lime? Or no, Bud Light.
He doesn't have his mic on. He can't hear you.
Okay, what are you drinking? Are you drinking Bud Light?
Don't even worry about it.
No. Show.
No.
That stuff's not keto, you know.
Oh, that rhymes. Keto, you know. Not keto, you know.
There are some leftovers, Kelly, and I'm just being a good roommate by cleaning up.
You're environmentally friendly.
Yeah. I'm going to start with probably what's one of Filthy's Guinnesses. So, yeah, the keto kind of fell off the wagon there at my birthday. And
that was the 31st. Today is the 7th.
No, November 2nd is when things went really sideways, when we had that.
Oh, when you turn 50, right? You give up some things.
I'm going to cut your kidney.
Gonna have to wait till summer, bitch.
No problem. Bayonet, too. Oh, one of the pig stickers off the Mark IV?
You can't stab me. I'm too nice.
Yeah, he is.
Not when you call me 50. You're
hey,
not.
Dave.
You can stab him. Yes, Kelly.
Are you coming out to the charity shoot?
Silly question.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make sure. Hey.
Trevor booked me a room with his lovely wife at their lovely facility.
That's already done.
So we're going to have to do an Airbnb again then.
I'm staying at Trevor's place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're going to go do Dalhousie again, that Airbnb. That was awesome.
No, do Campbellton, and then you're close to the party and the people.
Well, the problem is there is nothing in Campbellton.
That's not true. Talk to Tracy. Tracy and Colin booked an amazing Airbnb.
Oh, let me...
Yeah.
Okay, let me... Just
they're popping up all the time. It's been a year.
You guys...
We're going to do the thing?
Talk about
the show.
I'm going to...
Brian,
I'm going to message.
This right here is why I tune in.
All right, shall we?
Yeah.
That's not my beer. Oh,
I don't know. So yeah, no keto?
Yeah, keto. Never mind. We're doing the show.
Keto.
Hello and welcome to.
Ketos. Oh, come on! You just snuck that in.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Oh, who's the lead host, by the way?
Amazing.
Love to just
the guy who just tried to start the show.
Just kind of sneaking in, midnight intruder here.
Boom,
hello and welcome. Oh, God.
Okay, so it's Adriel.
Okay,
I'm a bit clumsy sneaking it in. I've been
Dave,
told.
And then it's me. Okay, what?
Trying to clumsily sneak it in.
Like prom night. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, let it happen. Just let it happen.
Just let it
Kelly wants to let it happen naturally. Just
Just let it happen.
don't force these things. You just gotta let them happen.
Okay, go.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 329 for November 7th, 2019. I am one of your hosts, Adriel Frosty.
I'm another one of your hosts, Trevor the Frelati.
I am Dave, looking for show notes. Random Dave. There we go.
You got your spot though. Very good.
Yeah, he did. And I'm Kelly, the classy one.
There we go. All got our monikers in there and everything.
Oh my God, beer day.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Is it beer though? That's like English beer. That's like roofing tar, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Looks very dark.
I'm gonna get drunk now.
It's Thursday and Trevor's getting his drink on. All right.
Trevor likes his beer like he likes his women, dark and bitter.
True story,
and
Dave.
lots of them.
True story. One of my students says to me one day, "Sir, you like your coffee like you like your women." I said, "How's that?" He said, "Large and black." I love that kid. But yours is good too. Bitter. I like bitter women.
Yeah.
Stout and bitter.
Stout and bitter. All right.
Stout and bitter.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Uh,
What we did in Guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Right now they've got two awesome Colt revolvers in stock. The Colt King Cobra 357 Magnum for $1,800 and the Colt SAA. Is that single action
Army.
action?
Single action army. Yeah, man. The single action
Cool.
army. The gun that won the West. God created man. Samuel Colt made them equal.
I think that would more be a lever action that did that. But
Whatever.
We'll go with pistol.
Won the West for the
The short range.
the Outlaws. The Outlaws really liked it.
Carry on.
Yeah, they love that stuff. Do you want me to do the description?
These are
here?
brand new production. They come in 45 Colt. They're case hardened frames. Only 4 3/4 inch barrels though. $2,800. No other calibers. No other barrel length. No other finishes. They apologize, but
Who
they
cares?
do have
45 Colt. That's all you need.
right.
Yeah.
Any longer looks a little silly. Maybe a 5-inch, but the 4 3/4 is nice. The good news, bad news is. Good news for the fans of the Calgary Shooting Center, you cannot get one of these Colts anywhere. They bought them all. They're like, how many are you making this year? Good. Give them all. Take them all. There's no other ones in Canada. You want this Colt single action army in 45? This is where you get it. Calgary Shooting Center has them all. You can email them at orders@theshootingcenter.com. Tell them we sent you. And if you want to get me a King Cobra for Christmas, that's really cool too.
I didn't even know that they were still making revolvers.
They started to make the King Cobra again a couple of years ago.
Okay, because I remember I'd been told they'd gotten out of it. I didn't know they'd gotten back into it.
There's a lot of talk about people want them to reproduce or reintroduce the Python. The cost of tooling up would just be, the gun would end up being like $4,000, right?
And
if
it's
you
a
want-
revolver, so who really cares anyways?
Listen, wheel guns are classy, and everybody should have a couple of them. I have a couple of them, right? I've got. Look at the like.
I've
how do you
had a
put-
couple of them. I've had wheel guns, and
I
I
bought some of your
shoot
wheel
them,
guns.
and I'm like,
Look at
ugh,
these.
ugh, what do I do
Look.
with my thumbs with this and ancient technology?
it feels
30.
weird, doesn't it?
Dirty Harry
America.
Callahan. This is a 1976 mint Smith & Wesson 29-2 44 Magnum. Go ahead, make my day.
I mean,
This-
Mel Gibson looked really cool with that Claymore, but I don't have a Claymore in my house, just because he'd had it in Braveheart.
Look at the class on this.
He had a
Look how
Claymore
classy.
and Braveheart?
I don't know.
That's the name of the sword. Scottish Claymore. Original 686, no dash. I mean, come on. And now
Yep.
you can buy a Colt King Cobra. A King Cobra is the closest thing you're going to get to a Python.
That's back when they
never
couldn't make a box
understood.
that had a spring in it to put bullets in.
For God's
I
sakes.
never understood they invented the 1911 in 1911. Like, why would you invent revolvers after that?
Yeah, it's like, whoa, man, better.
Better.
We're done.
We got sewing machines. I better go invent a loom because somebody might want one of those.
I mean, you're not wrong, right? So, even
not.
even after 1975, when the CZ75 came out, police agencies all over the world were still carrying heavy 357 Magnum revolvers, or worse, 38 specials.
I was talking to a buddy of mine's dad, and he carried one of these.
Oh my God, really?
A 455 Webley. He's a Canadian cop. He carried one of these, and he's I mean, he's old. He's not like that old. And he remembers when he joined the force, they were still using these things.
But there's a good excuse for that. It was still working.
Why?
It was still working, and police
Yeah,
departments
remember,
don't have any money.
Canadian military is still carrying the high power.
Yeah, because we made too many for World War II.
Yeah,
I think so.
they're still using the old ones. They're pretty nasty.
Anyway, so look, if you want to get a Colt Single Action Army, Calgary Shooting Center. You want a King Cobra, Calgary Shooting Center. And next week, we will have a super cool announcement to talk about. It's their Christmas special. It's really lame if you talk about Christmas before Remembrance Day, so we're not going to.
So Trevor's going to actually get us all one because.
You get two, Kelly.
Oh, really?
I'd like you to
Thanks.
double wield. It would be
Can I
really
get something
cool.
that's better though?
You get nothing. Shut up.
Semi-automatic of some sort.
Dave, you get a stab in the kidney.
With a semi-automatic? Fine.
Yes.
No, with a wheel
All right.
gun.
With a wheel gun. A pistol
Anyway,
whip you in the kidney.
Go buy one from our sponsor.
Where were we?
I don't know.
I was about to
Trevor was
say what I
trying
did
to
this week.
allude to
Guns.
something. He was trying to market something before Remembrance Day, but that we're going to do after Remembrance Day.
Yeah, because it's in
Just
bad
a teaser.
form.
Just a teaser. There's something cool
Yeah.
coming after Remembrance Day, Christmas related.
And then he was going to tell us what he did in guns.
Right, so let's do that right now.
Okay.
I thought he did that while he went to the washroom.
We did.
I didn't go to the
I
washroom.
did-
I went to get keto beer.
I did it on your
There's
behalf.
no
Trevor.
such thing as keto beer.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, actually there is. Michel Aubé, which is Michelob Ultra, is 2 grams of carbs per bottle, and Sleeman Clear is also 2 grams per bottle. So if you're under that 30 grams per day of total carbs, you can have 15.
You're gonna have to let your beard grow longer to be.
Yeah. One, Michelob. We're in
Right.
Canada. It's
That's why I drink
Sleeman's,
whiskey. I'm just
so-
drinking whiskey instead. So
True. That's just whiskey.
Hey,
that's
Trevor, although
although
I'm really enjoying this keto talk, you got a
Uh-huh.
gun in your hands there?
I
Is that
do.
what that
I'm
is? Okay.
trying to talk about
Not
it.
a revolver.
No. So this, I love this rifle, guys. This rifle
I
belongs to
love
my
that rifle,
godson
too.
Marcel, a member of the
Okay.
Losers Club.
People who are listening.
I'm trying to get there, Kelly. I can't say what it is. You guys keep interrupting me.
It's a Savage
Jeebus.
Savage 10, Savage
It
111.
is a Savage 10.
Mhm.
So it's a Savage 10 in 308. This is the second one I've been able to get my hands on and stuff. It's got a 20 MOA rail on it.
It's got a sock on it.
Yeah.
Well, he put a sock on it so that it would hide the comb work that he did to build up the comb to get a better cheek weld, right? So he put like
so
a...
he put a sock on it.
The sock
Yeah.
is very effective. It's much classier.
You gotta make
It's got a
not
white
actually
line,
a sock,
like
douches.
like a what do they put on the stocks on the front there? That little white highlight. Or
You're
the
going to talk
inlet?
about the sock. I'm going back to keto. Like we need to move past this eyesore of a sock.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
So
you
look,
said it's an eyesore, so
I don't think I said it was an
We're
eyesore.
good. Yeah.
you just did.
I love the mags on those things.
Kelly.
The mag on the Savage 10 is so good. The real metal bottom one. Yeah.
Yep. And it's got an excellent, like, this is a tactical rifle. This isn't a hunting rifle. This is a sniper rifle. It's got a
That's
nice
the
big
mags
heavy
they
barrel,
used to have on all their rifles.
right?
They
and they
changed
teeped out
off
a little
of them.
bit. Yep. It's got the Accu trigger. It's got aluminum bedding in the stock for
neat.
Yeah, it's quite good. It's not the Accu stock, but it's kind of the same idea as the Accu stock. Anyway, it's a great rifle. It's got a great trigger on it. I gave Marcel a scope that I bought from a co-host of mine that turned out to be junk and didn't work. So that's right. Yeah, you know the one. Anyway, so actually, truth be told, we're not 100% sure if it's the scope, but it's a good gun. He's fed it good ammo, and he's shooting like 3-inch groups with this rifle. So I was like, that ain't right. So we've got some more premium ammo. We got a box of Gold Medal Match. I loaded up some hand loads using the same recipe I use in my bolt gun. They both have a 1 in 10 twist rate. But what I did was last Saturday night, day of my birthday party, everybody was here. It was awesome. Just right about the same time I was starting to get drunk, we mounted this scope to his rifle. It's 11 o'clock at night. We waited for the scope ring. So shout out to Mark for bringing the scope rings. We mounted the scope to the rifle. I forgot to tighten the bases. That's funny. I picked it up the other day and the scope moved and went, oh, good thing I didn't go test that out. I'd be like, I don't know what's wrong with your gun, Marcel. So anyway, I put my Viper HST on it. And that's enough scope to prove this rifle to be
Take
accurate.
the other scope too. Take your kit, take the other scope, because you're going to get out there, you're going to shoot it, and you're going to be like, this rifle's fine. I'm getting 1 MOA out of it.
Yeah.
Put the other scope in and find out, oh,
yeah,
they're both working just fine now.
Yeah, and Marcel needs to stick a maple seed will be the moral of the story. So that was one of the things that I did. I mounted that scope on the weekend when he was here. And then this is exciting. I should almost leave this to the end, but this is my Maccabee Defense SLR. And ta-da, look at that new fancy 17-inch carbon fiber handguard made by Coda Evolution.
It's very light.
It's very light. So I went from an 11.11 ounce 15-inch handguard to a 17-inch handguard that weighs only 8.4 ounces.
Wow.
Overall, I wrote this down. Since I built this rifle, I've reduced the weight from 8 pounds, 8.8 ounces to 7 pounds, 6.9 ounces. And I did that by removing the heavy vortex in favor of a loopholed Mark AR scope with illuminated reticle and a lightweight bolt carrier group. Next, I will be putting an adjustable gas block on there because that lightweight bolt carrier group is slamming way back because it's getting all the gas, right? So it's good for reliability, but bad for recoil. This gun is not it's not a duty firearm or anything like that. It's a competition rifle, so I just need enough gas to make it work and keep it clean, keep the recoil down. So somebody's got some feedback through their headset. I can hear myself, FYI. So since Dave is gone, it was probably Kelly, maybe. Don't know. Anyway, so this was an expensive handguard, but it's a beautiful piece of equipment. Coda Evolution.
Nice handguards are quite pricey, and nice handguards that are carbon fiber are atrociously expensive.
How much was that thing?
I paid $4 for it. It was.
Do you want to know what I paid for my handguard?
Your handguard came from China, and then you cut it with a hacksaw. Shut up! You shouldn't even be allowed on the same bus as me.
Do you want me to weigh my rifle in between while you're talking about what you're doing against?
Sure, you can
compare it.
You can do that. Yeah, you can do that. What else did I do? Oh, I did some brass prep for my 7.62 by 40 WT. I did some brass prep for my 22-250, some 308, and I loaded some 9mm.
How much did you do?
Pardon me?
How much did you do?
Not much. I'm just picking away at it 100 at a time, kind of thing. Don't worry, Kelly. It's a proven recipe. I can load 10,000 at once if I want. It's fine. Kelly's alluding to the fact that sometime I'll be like, "Hey, I don't know if uniforming primer pockets works or not, but I'm gonna uniform 1,000. Then we'll do some testing, right? Because I'm that guy. I just get going."
I'm all good.
I bought the Hornady 223 modified case gauge for my overall case gear. Modified case for my overall measuring tool that I showed on the show a couple of weeks ago. And now it's like, so I can get the overall length of the chamber for my 308. And I'm like, well, I load for a bolt action 223. I might as well get one for that too. And then, well, hey, I might as well get, anyway. Ooh. So now I've got a 22-250 and a 30-06 coming. It's one of the, you're not going to do it for one chamber and not do it for all. Like, well, that's not true. I'm not going to do it on my 4570. There's no point. But I've yet to do any load development for my Howa mini action. So when I do, though, it's one more variable I can control. I know what the overall length is, and I can knock it back by 10 thou and go from there. What else? Oh, I got a load of stuff coming from Brownells. I've got I use a Sinclair brass trimmer, and the brass goes into a shell holder, like a die, if you will, that you then lock into the trimmer, and you need one for every caliber. That's the downside. It's an incredibly precise trimmer, but every time you want to trim for a different caliber, you need to get a new shell holder. So I've got the 22-250 and 4570 ones on the way. And then I am ready to reload for 4570. I got my powder. I got my 325 grain Hornady FTX bullets. I had no way of trimming the brass. So now I have a way of trimming the brass so I can start reloading 4570 this winter. I lost my single stage reloading section of my reloading room when I got a second Dillon, and that went where that single stage and turret press situation was. I moved it across the room to my archery bench. I've said screw archery, and just whenever I need to do archery stuff, I'll figure it out. I don't do archery stuff very often in these days, but I do a heck of a lot of reloading. So I've turned my archery section of the workroom into my single stage turret press / shotgun press reloading area. So I set that up again, and then I actually did some reloading. I loaded some 308 for Marcel. So pretty busy week. Probably some stuff I'm forgetting, but what are you going to do? Oh, yeah, I did a lot of dry fire. My first match in my first indoor match, my third ever match in production optics is coming up on the 17th at the AMA range in Nova Scotia. So I've been doing, I got Ben Steger's books, Dry Fire Reloaded and Skills and Drills Reloaded. So I'm working my way through the dry fire book. I'm not assuming that I'm above any of these drills. So I'm starting with the first drill and I'm going to work my way through. And the first drill was like super basic. Put a target up on the wall that scaled down that reflects 25 yards and just draw the gun perfectly from the holster, slowly concentrating on a good grip. But most of all, isolating the trigger finger from the rest of the hand so that you can concentrate on moving the trigger finger in isolation of the rest of the grip, so you don't milk the trigger finger when you're you squeeze the gun tight and you end up putting pressure on the trigger that's not meant to, and you manipulate the muzzle. So it's all about just developing a feel for the trigger finger and developing a feel for that pressing the trigger straight back. Just like Maple Seed with your trigger trainer, they give you the pen and they press the back of the pen straight back into the pen. Same idea, only you're taking that skill that you practice on the pen and practicing it on your gun. So,
and under some kind of pressure and some kind of variability because you got to draw it out of your holster, right?
With no time limit. This is just about developing muscle memory. The very first drill, no time. There's no
That's
time.
Cool.
The next drill, though, you use a timer and you prep the gun. You present it to target. You place your finger on the trigger, and when the beep goes, press it straight back on the beep. And then you ask yourself, did the sight move? Well, then you did it wrong. You're stupid. Try again.
Cool.
So go fast, don't suck. Yep. All right. So that's it for me. Dave. No, Adriel's next. Sorry, Dave. Adriel, what have you been up to?
I'm the host anyway, so I could just
you do what you want.
Yeah.
Just, typically. Yeah. Sorry. What are you saying?
Let's see here. On the Friday, just after Thursday, I guess that's how the order of the days work. Yeah. On the Friday there, we had an instructor boot camp in Edmonton here. So Rick was out. We did a Maple Seed instructor boot camp. Had about 6 IATs, something like that. No, 5 IATs out, and we just ran through all the different points of instruction from Maple Seed, all in one day, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
it was really good. We had a heated garage at Sherwood Park, so it was, which sounds hard, like nastier than it was. It was a nice big garage. It was heated and it was cold.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it was.
You need the room.
Nice.
Yeah, you need the room to be able to move around and being nice and warm. Well, I actually nice prefer those types of places too.
Yeah.
You guys got a chance to go over everything, practice it some more.
Yeah.
So that's where you guys are going to get really good at that stuff, and then just do it practical. Because you did at Sherwood Park, Maple Seed as well, and you were able to use it there.
Well, yeah, and I mean the thing about doing the Maple Seed. So what we're trying to do is like get instructors, get the ITs to get lots of reps in. That's hard to do at a Maple Seed when we have 6 IITs there, right?
Yep.
I mean,
exactly.
It's fantastic that we have so much help, but you're doing like 2 things.
Right.
And that's it. And that's not good repetition. So
You'd
that
be doing
day,
Maple Seeds for 8 years before you finally got everything mastered.
Yeah, exactly. So this instructor boot camp was really good. The guys are super pumped. We want to do another one in the winter here, indoors only.
Kelly, you guys got your stuff together so well. It's almost like you took NCCP modules or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, almost like it's from Appleseed. It's like directly borrowed, inspired by.
Yeah, but yeah, it's
Take the best, leave the rest, something like that. Anyways,
Progress, not perfection.
Progress, not perfection. Yeah, there we go.
Stolen from Rick.
Okay.
So it was
Stop the
fantastic.
Rickisms.
I know,
I'm
I'm just
seeing
needling
them.
Kelly.
I'm seeing them this weekend. I'm gonna get all the Rickisms.
Oh, get them all in again.
You're just
yeah,
jealous,
so
Kelly, because all your Rickisms enjoy comments about like drinking whiskey properly or something.
here we go.
Yeah.
So instructor boot camp was really good. We finished a little bit early, so we did some MQTs. So we finished at like
You did amputees.
We
Yeah,
did
I'm gonna ask
four-
you about that.
we did 4
Yeah, I want to
minute
ask him about doing an
compressed
amputee too.
MQTs.
Just hold on a second. So you did the down and dirty MQT, which is basically Trevor, you load 5 or you prep 5 magazines with 10 rounds each, and then you just do the whole MQT.
Yeah,
and
just do it all in one shot. You just
Yeah.
you got 4
You have-
minutes.
And you got 4
Do it.
minutes to do it.
Yeah,
So
the whole shebang.
how'd you like that compared to doing it in the stages?
I shoot a lot of like timed courses, so I like when there's more pressure on for time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I feel like the regular maple seed, it's like it's a little bit too comfortable for time.
Yep.
And I would like a lot more pressure. And shooting
Okay.
a whole maple seed in 4 minutes is a lot
Right.
more pressure. Like you
So
have
did
to
you
be running.
find Yeah, you do, and you have to have everything set up first. You have to have everything situated and know what you're doing. But did you find that you shot better in down and dirty, or did you shoot better with the different stages?
I shot one of Rick's rifles because I didn't think we're gonna get to any MQTs
Okay.
that day. But I got a pretty good score. And,
Okay, what was it?
235, 238, something like that.
238.
Yeah.
So what was your
somewhere
high
around there.
score? What was your high score? Standard.
244. But like on
Shut
a nice day.
Yeah.
On a nice day with a Chinese bolt action rifle and a $4 scope from Walmart.
Yeah, Rick's rifle was much nicer than that.
Yeah.
I borrowed his fancy race rig. It's got a nice scope. on it.
So
When you're savant, do you know you're savant? Or do you have to be told by the people that you're savanti?
he's Savante.
Yeah.
He is.
I have shot thousands of gophers.
Yes.
Like just to I've shot thousands of them, maybe even
Yeah.
tens of thousands. Like it's not like I'm a amateur with a 22 rifle. I shot a lot of them.
Right.
Anyways, it was fun. It was fun. I liked
Basically, you just told me you memorized the phone book. Yeah. You're not helping your case for not being a savant.
So you really enjoyed it. You got to shoot
Yes.
4 of them?
No, I shot 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we didn't have enough mags for it. But no, I liked having the time pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's
yeah.
almost it's not impossible to do with a bolt action. It's difficult.
No.
It's very difficult to do.
It's
with
difficult to
bolt
do
action.
it with the But we've only done those MQTs twice, I believe, maybe 3
With
times.
instructors,
No.
with other people.
Yeah, with participants.
How did they survive?
But these were people that were these were people who could shoot.
I see.
These were people who are like the Luke Voyous and Greg Mays, and these are people who could shoot. So we were able to get I think 5 or 6 MQTs in, but it's basically because we did the fast ones as well. So they don't need a lot of instruction. They were able to do the first portions of it, but we find that some people, especially those that are used to shooting with the time pressure, did better when they actually did those MQTs as opposed to the ones where it's very, okay, we're going to shoot stage 1.
Yeah, you don't have
you
to
don't
think. You just subconscious.
Just
It's like, nope,
go.
get her done. I gotta
Get into your bubble and
I
go.
gotta start hammering on this thing. And I mean, part of it is like, oh, I guess I don't need all that time. Like, I did the standing one in like 30 seconds just to like get through it, so I could get to the other ones. And it's like, that's good enough. Yeah, I dropped
4
like
minutes?
2 or 3 points. Who cares? Yeah.
Yeah, 4 minutes. You actually will have time left over if you do it right.
Yeah,
Lots of time.
I didn't have lots of time at the end. Anyways, that was fun. So 4 minute MQTs, a lot of time pressure. Normally, like, last stage is more than that, but you kind of compress it all into that, and it was good fun. And then Rick and I took a break from Maple Seed for one day, and we shot a 3-gun match at Chaz.
What?
Yeah. Did some 3-gun. Yeah, I cracked out this guy here for for the accuracy and for the memes because
and for the memes.
For the people listening, I'm holding up an 8.5-inch barrel AR. It's a very short little AR.
White.
Barky.
It's a what?
Yeah.
Barky?
It's a white.
Barky.
Barky?
It means that it's going
They
to. It's
bark.
loud.
They're
It's
loud.
Oh, yes.
going to give
yeah.
you.
Why would
I took the break
Why
off.
would you Krylon spray paint it white? Why do you want a white gun?
It's a snow gun.
It's a snow gun on the range.
He has.
You know, when you look at it, when you shoot AR-15s and you go to a 3-gun match and you look at the rack and you're like, which one's my gun?
Stop! This is your
They're all
argument.
black.
So I know it.
They're all the same. This one,
So
very
I
easy
put
to
a
find.
sticker on my stock so I can tell which one's mine.
You
just
could
glancing
put a
quick.
sticker.
So-
yeah.
Okay. You know what? Move on.
This is not a great gun to shoot. Like,
You think?
Just putting it out there, it is not like even at short range. This is not a good gun to shoot. It's
Because why?
it actually recoils. It's light. This is 5.5 pounds.
You've got a full
with
auto
the optic.
buffer. Do you have a full auto buffer? And do you have a H2? Sorry, do you have a
H.
full auto bolt carrier group and an H2 buffer?
Full auto H.
Put an
Still
H2.
recoils. Okay,
H2
that'll make like a tiny little bit of a difference. It still recoils.
then-
I need to run a brake on it. Is
and
what I would
then-
do.
And then an adjustable gas block and bleed off some of the extra gas.
And a brake.
I think
And
you
a
should
break.
Just get a break.
I had a break on it.
Why'd
The
you take
break-
it off?
It was horrible. It, like
Okay.
shooting this thing was horrific with a
We
brake
knocked the
on.
snot out of everyone.
Oh, especially
come
here.
on.
It was terrible. It was terrible.
Muffin does that with his 10.3. When you RO him in the bus, if you're not double plugged, you never RO the bus again.
Yeah, yeah.
you get
have
the
to double
PTSD
plug.
from
Yeah.
being in there. Like, it's not right.
Yeah.
Guys show up
So
our CQB matches with those little short guns with cans on them, and when they're doing modified prone and you're ROing and you're standing behind them, it's like it'll almost knock your hat off.
yep.
You wouldn't think a 5.56 would be so snotty, but
So
Yeah, with the short
Well,
pair
if
break,
it's
it's
short.
burning a ton of powder there. Anyways, ton of fun. I would do it again, and I'm gonna do it again in December. I'm gonna take that little white guy out there, and I'm gonna go in the snow, fight in the snow. Yeah.
Make it
Worth
lost.
hashtag worth it. Hashtag would do again.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So it was a smaller match. We had like fewer bays and fewer participants than normal. So which incidentally for us is like 30, 35, 38, something like that. So we ended up ending a little bit early, and we had call-outs at the end. So we normally do a shootout, but shootouts are kind of lame because you're like, oh man, I got to shoot against that guy. Okay, I lose. This is no fun anymore, right? So instead of that, we did call-outs. So you could say, Trevor, I want to go against you on the poppers
Nice.
and do pistol. And you'd write down your name on the sheet, and it would
And
come
then
up and
you'd
it'd be
be
like,
sorry.
yeah. Anyways, that was the idea. So so people could write down their thing, and they could find someone who is similar skill level to them, and they could compete against them head to head. So we had 2 ROs running up there to watch them as they just static shot at 2 sides of the berm, kind of a thing. And yeah, it was fun. It was a good way to end the day. Sunday was that Maple Seed at Sherwood Park. It was really good. IT's really pump up for next year. They already want to do another boot camp.
Oh, I got a couple of messages from people that attended it. So said they had
Just
What are you-
negative, right? Just like, oh, that 8-year-old guy is just like a big downer on
They
the whole
said it
thing.
was fantastic.
Hmm.
Jordine
Yeah.
messaged me. How well did she do?
Well, this is her second
This
Maple
is
Seed.
her second.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I don't think she got rifleman. Oh, maybe she did last
Yeah,
time.
she did. She got the
She
high score of the
practiced
day. She
since.
said.
She practiced since because
Yeah.
she came back and she crushed it. A couple people
Yeah.
crushed it. There was more than a couple people who this was like their second Maple Seed, and like they put some practice in between, and
Isn't that always nice
the
to
results
Yeah.
showed
Yeah.
they knew what they
So-
were doing. They
So
were
Sherwood Park's on board, are they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. It's fantastic. I just wanted to actually stop you and give a shout out to Jordan because I know she listens. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, her and her partner Barb there did fantastic.
I heard Barb got it as well.
Yep.
Fantastic.
We had a bunch of
Awesome.
people qualify. It was a fantastic event.
Good.
In
I'm
the
glad.
cold too.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the day, it's like, oh, it started snowing, and the temperature stayed low and got lower.
Okay, so the last time that we were in Sherwood Park in July, we were there in July, or was it August? July. It was 5 degrees. So I think it was 5 degrees Celsius. So, and it was raining and it was about to snow. So I think it's about the same as November, right?
Yeah, -1, -2.
Yeah, it was about the same.
Wind blowing into your face, snowing.
Kelly, are you? I think I've asked you this before.
No.
Good. Then I don't mind asking.
What?
Winter seed. Are we?
No.
She
Yes.
had the answer prepped up there.
Yeah.
It seems
no.
like she says no to me a lot. I'm not sure,
It's a
but
reflex.
it's quite.
We-
yeah, it is totally.
we
a
said-
reflex.
We said no because we haven't been able. Yeah, we have been. Like we did Sherwood Park and we did Edmonton in May. Was it May or April?
May.
May.
It was
and it
cold.
was snowing.
Yep.
And cold. But we haven't done anything officially in February or January, and that's when we'd like to see them. I did one when it was minus 25 degrees.
Oh, I don't know how you can do it. Like
Nice.
even at like -2, like I watched one guy trying to pick up a chamber flag off the ground, and he
Yeah.
couldn't do it. I watched him try 5 times to pick it up. And
Your
his
fingers
were
don't
too
work.
numb. I'm like, let me grab that for you.
After 5 times, you're a humanitarian.
Well, after I stopped laughing. No, I joke.
One more attempt, and he loses a finger to frostbite.
He's joking. He never stopped laughing. He's still
Right. That's right, Dave.
Okay, so it's on the plans. We want to do it. We
Nice.
want to have a special patch for it as well. But I want one of those patches because, as I said, we did minus 25 with another minus 10 for wind chill, so I need
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Is right.
Yeah, too much.
So,
Yeah.
Tubuku.
Tubuku. All right, that was the weekend. Monday was a gun club meeting, so I went to that. I signed up as a director so I could run more Maple Seeds and do that kind of thing with my club. Picked up some shooting mats. I bought another safe. Canadian Tire had a sale on stack-on safes. They had the 8-gun for like $100, so I was like, yeah, give me one of those.
I need to probably get one of those.
Yep.
Speaking of gun safes, you didn't send me that ad for that gun that might be for sale or is for sale.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
It's
Holy
down below a
jeez,
little
we're
bit.
like
we're getting there. We're getting there.
Oh,
Yeah, so I picked up the Canadian Tire gun safe that comes disassembled. You have to assemble yourself, and as you assemble it, you're like, whoa, this is not stopping anyone. Like it came bent, and I'm like, oh, I'll just bend it back, like with my hands, and then bolt it together. And it's like,
it's
man,
aluminum.
like,
It's not steel.
yeah, you could get into this with like a decent screwdriver, never mind a crowbar. or anything.
Realistically, most gun safes,
Can
unless you're
opener.
going with the big heavy ones, they're not stopping anyone determined. I mean, it's just
No, it's about the lay.
angle grinder gets you into most things, like no
Yeah.
problem.
No, but no one's fooling anybody, Dave. They know that, criminals are going to break in eventually, but it's about delay. It's about, and it also has, safe storage has a large component, or sorry, how can I phrase this? A large component of developing safe storage regulation involves suicide prevention.
Yeah.
Someone who's suicidal and goes for a firearm, the more steps between them and the firearm, the more time to reflect and so on and so forth and possibly change their mind.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
when
I
you
never
really,
thought about
really
that.
need a gun, I don't want to.
Right, well,
that
that's-
safe open.
Of course, but,
In case I
that's
really,
never-
really want to go to the range quickly.
quickly, yeah.
Yes.
That's,
I mean,
yeah.
for myself, I don't
Always
I don't
be
like,
dry firing.
I don't like running trigger locks and keeping everything in cases when it might be wet from the range. I prefer to take it out, put it in a safe. Alberta's dry, so if I put it in a safe, it'll dry out all on its own. I don't have to do anything special.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
I have to bring the case into the house and let the firearm inside the case, slowly come up to room temperature. Never Canadians on the ocean go to the range in January, come home and immediately open the case, take the gun out. boom, condensation
Well,
immediately.
that happens out here too. If it's minus 20, minus 30, and you're out hunting and you come back, you need to leave that in a intermediate room or even outside and just
There
not
you
even
go.
bring it
Just
in.
let it warm up slowly over time in the case, and then take it out.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But anyways, I got this second safe, which is more convenient for me. Screwed it into the wall, nice and secure. And it was cheap like Borscht, so who cares, right?
$100 is all right.
Yeah, $100 to hold like 8 guns, and I got the 8 guns in there. It took some like creative stacking, like this one's going up, those ones are going nose down.
I swear,
but I
when they
fit 'em in
made
there.
those, they had 2 guns available: a Kui 39 and a Kui 84. Because that's like
Nah, Kui 39, the bolt sticks out to the side there too much. You need something that's a little bit more trim, like a shotgun. Perfect.
right.
Nice
It's
and
definitely
straight.
more for single shot shotguns.
It's like a frickin' pop tent, you know.
Yeah,
Sleep
3 people
43
might.
people.
Yeah,
Even
me and
one.
my one and a
Okay.
Chihuahua.
Yeah. We getting off topic, Kelly?
No,
It's a problem today.
we're ketoing. We got beer going, whiskey, and
At least
now
we're talking about a
about
gun
pop
safe
guns.
now, right?
Okay.
Anyways,
And pop
yeah.
guns.
So fantastic. That's I got a cheap
Fantastic.
secondary gun safe. This is actually my 3rd gun safe.
You should invest in Gunroom. Oh, so Fingers was here the other night.
I have
We were having, everybody was touring the Gunroom that had never been here before. We were having a party and stuff. It was awesome. And we got looking at the fact that I'm doubled and tripled on some of my hooks now, right? So he goes out and he finds the plans from who's the group in the U.S. that you can buy the Garands from? CMP? What is
Yeah.
that?
CMP.
Yep.
Yeah, the CMP Marksman program have the plans on their website for building gun racks.
Oh.
The kind that you would have like in the middle of a storeroom or whatever, like a storage. Yeah, where the guns are like this,
Yep.
and you build the racks, you put them back to back, all along this wall in the gunroom, baby. I'm gonna get some. It's for the Kui collection primarily, but
Nice.
yeah.
The Kui gun
Rather-
rack.
And it was, and it's better than it's modular, rather than just screwing stuff to the wall or trying to make. You know what I mean? We'll just build this gun rack, bring it in, put it against the wall. It'll be awesome.
Well, this stack on safe I got is rimfire only. It's only for rimfire rifles.
You got a rimfire specific safe.
Mm-hmm.
A former co-host of ours, and that's right, I called you former slacker. Would be not that he listens.
He's not listening, anyways.
No, exactly. He's too busy flying a little pretend airplane, raising a child. Anyway, he would be proud.
Yes, lots of rimfires. All right, let me keep going here. I helped my wife do a Chinese range orientation for our range,
You
so that
did?
people who are Chinese will be able to listen to the whole orientation video in Chinese.
Nice. Do you have a large Chinese
How multicultural of you.
We have a lot of Chinese people here in
Yeah.
Edmonton, and they love going to the range. So it's like, fuck yeah. Actually, I can.
Editing. I
The
was
guy
gonna-
who
I know,
edits.
you beat me to it.
I knew it as soon as I said it.
Really? You didn't know it before you said it? That's unusual.
Angel said a bad word.
Anyways, I'm glad that they're going to the range and they are taking up our very Canadian activities.
Yeah.
I hope they're getting instruction though, because
It's funny when you come from
are
a
they
communist
getting
country.
instruction?
They have firearms
no.
licenses, so they got that much instruction.
That doesn't mean nothing.
I know, right? But it's funny when you come from a communist country where you're not allowed to own firearms. One of the first things you want to do when you get to a little bit of freedom is own a firearm.
Gun.
Yep.
There was a place up north of where I used to live in Toronto that I used to go to all the time, and you'd go in there and like all the guys buying the tactical stuff and the handguns, all Oriental.
Yep.
All Chinese or Hong Kong. It's crazy.
It's either that or go-karts.
Or go-karts, yeah.
Let's see here. I got out videos on the Nylon 66 and Kui Ace. And
Sure did.
Trevor, you've been like bugging me the whole time here. I'm pulling this
Uh-huh.
up.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm gonna need to send you the link. Okay.
Please do.
Wait.
I got just enough beer in me to pull the trigger on it, too.
There we go. There's the Seneca Green Nylon 66 on sale on CGN that I showed in the video.
Thank you.
It is
I also
great.
pulled up the Ace, Kui Ace 1 from 1929 to 1934. Did that.
How many colors
video.
did they come in? Just the
Three.
three?
Yeah.
Oh, damn
They
it. I
had,
got my
like-
three.
They had a nuclear green that is just ugly as sin. It's just so weird. Like DuPont was getting real weird with their colors, and they're like, we can do it like a nuclear green, and Remington's like, yeah, why not? Let's try that, and did all sorts of weird stuff. Man. Anyways, this one has like a real weird like green clear coat on it. It's like it's impossible to get out in photos.
Doesn't show up in the photos at all.
No,
in
and I
photo,
mean even in real life,
yoga pants.
In this room with this lighting, barely shows up. Outside, you can get a green glint off of it sometimes. Yeah.
So, how would you rate the condition of this firearm?
I took like super duper detailed photos if you wanted to take a look at it. So.
Okay, how would you rate the condition?
I don't know. I'm not a condition rater. I buy like new guns. I shoot them for a season and I sell them like used. And I buy a new gun.
That's all I
do.
How do I say no?
Okay.
Let me finish my thing here.
Can we?
I'm going hunting this weekend.
I'm sorry, Kelly. Do you have somewhere to be?
Yes, I actually do.
Okay, don't let us stop you.
All right.
I've got. I'm going to go out hunting. I'm going to take that 6.5 Creedmoor, and just to be even more pragmatic, I'll take my Axis with the 20-round mag that I made for it. Just in case I need to, really shell that deer just over and over and over again. Or maybe a whole family of deer will show up, and I'll just wipe them all out, leave nothing behind. And
it's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
Leave no orphans.
Yeah. And the tasty way to do it.
Yeah. Cool. All right, that's it for me. Dave?
What the hell did I do? Had the last ORA CQB match of the year on Saturday, so I was out with Andrew from Canadian Patriot Podcast. He was our firing point officer and did a fine job.
Was his beard also there?
Andrew's beard also attended the match, of course.
Perfect.
Yeah, the beard did most of the work, as usual. But Andrew did very well, and the match went really well. We didn't really get snow. We didn't get any snow. It sucked. I hoped it would at least snow for the last match. And then I had an ORA plinking, which is casual, come out to the range. We shoot 15 and 100 yard for a couple hours. We did that, and that went well. At the plinking event, one of the guys' AR-15s wasn't working right, so I had him pull it apart, and he goes to hand me the bolt carrier, and I'm like, what the heck? Shake that thing. So he shakes it, and his gas key's wobbling. I'm like, why is your gas key doing that? Well, I took it apart to clean under it.
What?
So for those of you who don't know, AR-15 gas keys are staked on. You need to use a fair amount of force to get them off. If you're forcing it, don't stick it in there. Just don't do it.
You need to clean under your gas key, said no one ever.
You know what? He's not the first person I've seen do that. I've seen people get the gas key off the gun.
Why do they leave bolts in there if you're not supposed to take it off?
Yeah, it would probably be better to file them off or something. I don't know.
Yeah, speaking of staking, Dave, so this has a trigger over travel screw on my Phoenix pistol, and I wanted to shorten it up a little bit, try and get it as close to a 1911 as possible. Couldn't get it to turn. Actually took the trigger out of the gun, and what did I notice? They have it staked. So what did I do?
Unstaked.
I stopped. No, I stopped. It's staked for a reason. I stopped.
Well, this guy didn't, and he disabled his brand new MRR. So he said I talked to him since, and he said he talked to the guys at Colt Canada. They were super nice. They made fun of him a little bit, but they were
not
super
unlike
nice.
us.
Yeah, exactly. I made fun of him too, but I had him show a few other people on the range.
Couldn't you just put some Loctite on that thing and just torque it down and get through the match?
It was just a fun shoot, so he just single shot at it for a while, and then I pointed out he was probably going to break his gas tube if that thing happened to twist when it was closing. So he put that away and brought out his other guns. But don't take your gas key off. I took my AR-15 because a buddy of mine had his WC-180 or the WC-180C, whatever the hell those.
Close
WK.
Yeah. So that of his has broken for like the 5th time. So last plinking event, I was standing there and I got hit by the bolt handle when it flew off the gun backwards and bounced off me. And then a bunch of other stuff broke on the gun. And so he's returning that to Wolverine. And I told him maybe go tell them it's an original Lemon and you'd like a new gun and see what they say. So we'll see if they do. They might. But very nice of Fong. At the end of the day, he handed my gun back, and he handed me a box of ammo as well for loaning him the rifle for the day. So I thought that was super nice. My shadow is still not together. Yeah,
Why not?
yeah.
How long's it
Adriel-
been? How long's
Yeah,
it been?
it's been a
Is
year
it
and a
last
bit.
year, right?
Yeah, it's been a year and a bit.
Yeah, those exotic
man.
pistols are really hard to work on and get parts for.
No, shut up.
What
So,
did you call it? A
Adriel-
CZ Shadow? A Shadow?
The
Shadow.
The SP01 Shadow.
Yes, it's a special edition.
Yes, this is the broken edition.
Yes,
The
exactly.
full auto edition. So I got a hammer and a disconnector from Adriel. Thank you, Adriel. And then I went to swap the hammer. And all the instructional videos I've found have said that the little pin that holds the hammer to the main strut support should just come out. You just touch it and it comes right out of the gun. No problem.
100%.
Yeah, no. This guy staked his in.
What?
Yeah.
It's held in place by the sear cage.
Well, this one had actually been crimped. I don't know how he did
Oh,
it.
the pin going across,
Yeah.
not down.
No, the one going across, which, according to everything I've seen, you should just be able to push it out. It is held by the body of the gun.
Well, no, it's held by this pin right here, and this pin right here is held in by the sear cage.
Yeah.
You take out the sear cage, this pin comes out, that pin goes falling out, falls out.
Yeah, no, not in this case. In
The
this
gun's been around
case-
since 75. There's no need to change this, or they would have.
You could just
Well-
get a pin and then drill it out.
I got a buddy who's going to drill it out for me. He's got a
Yeah.
machine shop at work, so he's going to punch
Silly.
it. I have to find a pin. So. But yeah, so don't do stupid crap like that, because a 2-minute job turned into a broken punch and a lot of swearing, and I got a pretty good gash on my finger from the punch when it broke. So,
Aww.
I know, I'm a sad panda. So eventually my shadow will go back together, and then I will use it.
Trevor will kiss your boo boo though.
I know I will. I love it.
You know, the
Yeah,
other
like,
thing you
I
can
mean,
do
you
for
know.
a punch on a really rude pin like that, and I made one for my shadow, anticipating it to have to drift that pin out, and I didn't. Is you take an oversized drift,
Yep.
and you put it in a drill, and so it's turning, and then you sharpen the end like a pencil. So what you want is that pencil shape, and then the tip is just big enough to start it.
But
And-
just the tip?
Just the tip, and then so you get it just sharp enough to start it, and that will, you cannot break that drift, and you will move that pin because you can put a rude amount of force through that thing.
Okay, interesting. That's pretty cool. Huh. I will take that under advisement. So the other, what else did I have on here? Oh, don't point guns at Dave. Dave gets upset. I'm not going to say what match it happened, but if you ever drop anything on a match while you're maneuvering or running downrange, humans can only think of one thing at a time. So if you drop something and then you go, oh crap, I got to pick that up, you're not going to be watching your muzzle, and you're going to turn around and point your rifle right at the ARO. And the ARO will not be happy about that fact.
Once, yeah.
So yeah. So luckily, was holding the foregrip or holding the forearm of the rifle. Safety was on. I mean, it not like his finger was on the trigger, but still, stupid.
None of it's
stupid.
does. Yeah, you're making excuses for him. Stop it.
No, I'm not. He's an idiot, and he was
Okay.
disqualified from the match.
Of course.
But yeah, important lesson: if you drop something and you want to go back to get it, put your gun down and go get it. At least it's still pointed down range and it's safe. Don't turn around and try and do two things at once, because human brain don't work that way. So don't do that. What else did I do? Oh, Gunnies for Good. I started a Facebook group because I'm getting all pissed off about the election, about the about all the politics around firearms, and just getting so frustrated and upset with all the stuff I was reading. So I had started this little group called Gunnies for Good on Facebook, and it's just for posting good things about guns. No politics.
Yay!
Yay. Just fun, good stuff, like having fun at the range and good things that people have done. So
Yeah.
join Gunnies for Good, number 4 good, and post all your fun gun stuff. No politics.
Bunnies for. I'm sorry, but
Bunny?
gunnies, not bunnies.
Gunnies for Good.
Gunnies for good.
No, Bunnies for Good is the Playboy page. It's, there's guns on that page, but yeah, not the same.
Yeah, not the guns we want. Never mind.
I would not know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Okay.
it.
That's it.
Kelly.
All right. So what did I do? I literally cleaned my rifles and handguns to bits because they were disgusting and filthy, and they were crunchy. Like the trigger on my 1022 should not crunch. So it was being used. I've loaned it out a lot recently, and the places that were it was being used at, it's been raining because it's maple seed. There's sand, dirt, and then we're also putting through pretty crappy ammo through it. So there was enough carbon on there for Trevor to get a new handguard, another one, and what?
Sweet, sweet.
Sweet. Oh, okay. So yeah, I could have built another one, and with the handguns as well, I cleaned them out. I'm going to be. One reason is because I'm going to be going, and I'm going to go I set up another a shooting date with my friend Summer. So I went recently, took my workmate Kim and her daughter Summer out shooting, and Summer is a natural. She just loves shooting, and she's just incredibly accurate, and she's just a natural with handguns, but she loved the rifle as well. So Tracy, who's going to be on later, she's going to be going to arrange on the 16th. I made a range date with Summer to take her up there so she can try out some different handguns and different rifles and different things. And we're going to go shooting again. I'm not taking her mom. I'm just taking Summer, and we're just going to go shooting. So a couple of girls going on a road trip, and we're going to go and do the CCFR event. So I thought that was awesome. What else? I have a couple of people that had contacted me. Trevor was talking about those trigger trainers. I'm sending those out to everybody because they want to know what they are. So Trevor kind of let everybody in on it. But yeah, the more that we talk about those, more that people are messaging me. So I'll send them out to them. The last thing that I've done this week, and I've been working really, really hard on it, and not only me, but we have a committee. So Tracy Wilson's on that committee, and so is Kelly Kincaid and a whole bunch of other people that have been helping out with it as well. But we finally got our calendar pretty much in the bag. So the CCFR 2020 CCFR Gunny Girl calendar, we've been doing the sneak peeks on it. So I'm going to be releasing another sneak peek this evening on the CCFR page as well as my personal page. But just let you guys know that those calendars, they're going to be $20 a piece again. And I'd like everybody to buy one. And when you buy it, then you register it, and then you can win all kinds of prizes. Now, I wanted to give a quick shout out to everybody who's responded to the call out for the bi-weekly prizes. We have more people that have donated for the bi-weekly prizes than we've ever had before. Some really great ones. So we're going to put some prize packages together. Adriel's not allowed to win any of them, I've decided. So
all of them?
Yeah. But register when you buy your calendar, make sure that you register it. And we have increased the amount of calendars that we're getting published by another. So we did 1,000 last year. We're doing 1,500 this year. Reason is because we also increased the amount of Ladies' Day events. We actually over doubled last year. So it increased by 110%. So the more calendars we sell, the more events that we can do, the more women that are getting into shooting, the more that we actually are going to make some changes.
Just remember that, guys. When you buy a calendar, you're not just supporting the CCFR. You're supporting a very specific program within the CCFR. It's ladies in the calendar. You're supporting the ladies' days. We're getting new females introduced to firearm sports, and hell hath no fury like a pissed off female gun owner. So, the more female gun owners we have, the better our chances are of keeping our firearms, because they will march on Parliament Hill and people will listen to them. All right, so I took it to a silly place, but the truth is, it's true. It's a fundraiser for a very specific reason. So it's really important to get more females involved in firearms, and the calendar initiative helps pay for that. So, buy two, buy two, yeah. Mm-hmm. Buy one for your wife and one for your girlfriend.
Yeah,
they're what?
Yeah, no. Those that are listening down in the U.S., coordinate things with Tim Crosno. I'll send him some stuff down, and he'll
Ship them
do it
to you.
again.
That makes so much
Mail
sense.
out of San Antonio.
He does mail it out of San Antonio, and if you play your cards right, he might actually throw in some salsa or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I
He'll
hope
go
he's
steal
coming back.
some sand from the Alamo and put it in there, sprinkle it in there.
There is no. Maybe just hold on a second. I gotta think. Is there sand at the Alamo? It's like grass out front. No sand.
No
It's-
sense for, no sense for
It's
you.
in the middle of downtown San Antonio.
I was there. I know.
Oh right, yeah. Never mind. Shut up, Kelly. That's it.
You're slowing
that's
us
all-
down. Don't you need to be somewhere?
Shush. I gotta do work because they have to prepare for tomorrow. Starting a new program. Okay. I'll just shut up now. We can move forward. Move forward.
On to upcoming events. We don't have any because it's winter. So if you want us to notify
one.
everyone about. Oh wait, you have one?
I have one. I just don't
Okay.
put it on the show.
If
notes.
it's not in the notes, you don't
gotta
have
put
it.
it on the notes, and
I know,
I'll
but I don't
like
get to
intro
show
it.
it 5 minutes before the show. Shut up.
Effing new guy.
Yes, FNJ. Ontario Rifle Association service rifle match is coming up. Last one of the year. It's going to be snow match. Come on, Blizzard. Coming up on the November 16th. Hey, it's service conditions. We've been shooting sometimes, and you have to wait for the gust of wind to die down so you can shoot the targets.
Conditions. It's all about the conditions.
No bad weather, just bad clothing.
Bad
And bad shooters and bad guns.
attitudes.
Speaking
Yeah.
of which, I did have some guys show up for plinking last week, and they were complaining about how cold it was, mainly because they were wearing ankle socks and track pants. It was raining and it was 5 degrees.
Oh, man, speaking of conditions, I decided to check the weather because we had a special weather statement all week for tomorrow. It has ended. Looks like I'm going to work after all.
Dude,
better cut back on that beer then,
Sorry, pumpkin.
No.
or keep going.
Damn it, if I go to work, I'm going to work hungover.
Oh, that's a good goal.
Thanks, coach.
Gotta have goals in life. You can do this, Trevor. We believe in you.
I've done it before. I'm seasoned. Don't you worry, sunshine. I got this.
Bud Light. Oh dear.
It's what was here. It's not like I bought it. I would never buy it. Even
Would
when I drink
you eat-
beer, I wouldn't buy it.
As much as I would like
Okay.
to have a discussion about domestic beer, if you have an upcoming event that you would like us to notify everyone about, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. About?
It's pronounced boot.
About. Thank you.
So when we say about, the Americans hear a boot. When we say a boot, what do they hear?
Boots? I don't know.
A big shoe.
About.
Shoe. Yeah. Yeah. Rubber boot.
Right? Goes the other way.
All right. News. I don't know if you guys saw this one. This is coming out of my home province of
Oh, it's
Alberta.
amazing.
And it is amazing, isn't it?
But it never should have had to come to this. Like, this should have always been a common sense thing.
Well, okay. So Canadian
Tell us
law,
what it is.
anyone can sue anyone for anything. That's the law.
Not no more.
Not no more. Nope. So if you defend your property and you don't get successfully charged with anything, you can't sue them. And this is specifically because we had some people trying to steal some stuff on a property in Alberta here. The homeowner shot a .22 at them, kind of a warning shot, but it bounced and it took a bad bounce and it nailed one of the guys. And he got off of the criminal charges. The guy took some civil charges to him, and they are making this law be retroactive to just before that incident. So it will not apply. It will apply.
Are
Not
For the
only-
guy.
Are they going to award him his legal fees back as well? Because they should.
No, probably not.
Nah, they won't award him as legal. But I'd imagine that was paid for. He had a GoFundMe and a couple of other things, and I'd imagine he was well funded for that.
Not only do I appreciate your province for keeping our schools and hospitals open here in New Brunswick, I appreciate your province for all of its common sense.
This one was really good. This one was like, yeah,
It's really good.
to get nailed. So after getting past the criminal charges, where the judge was like, nah, close enough, you're free to go, to get sued afterwards is like is really
It's-
dirty.
yeah.
To get sued by the thief that was on your property and you would never have done anything to anyone otherwise, is lame, and it's a good thing that now we have this law that will stop that.
Yeah, dude's got quite the balls on him to do that.
Well, he thought he was American for a second because they do it down there all the time.
Oh,
Some guy goes in
yeah.
and robs a 7-Eleven, gets shot, and then the family's interviewed on the street, and they're like, he had no business taking a gun to work to defend himself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe my brother should have been robbing a place, but he's not totally at fault.
Well,
Actually, he is.
Same things happening here. We actually we've got a problem with liquor store robberies here in Edmonton. We've got I just saw a warrant go up for someone who has robbed 20 plus liquor stores.
It'll be two guys doing it all.
Only reason why it's happening is because they're told on principle, don't stop them. Just let them.
In Ontario, they don't
it.
even rob the place. In Ontario, they walk in, take the liquor they want, and walk out because the employees are told, "Do not interfere, do not stop them."
Mhm.
What the hell is going on? What do you mean, don't stop them?
Somebody
The videos
shot a video of somebody just they come into the store, they get their little card out, load up
Yeah.
the card, and then like wave and walk out of the store.
Dave,
Yep.
2 different videos, 2 different incidents.
Yeah.
And if I club one of them in the back of the head with a Texas Mickey, I go to jail.
Yes.
I don't
Anywho.
understand
Yeah.
nothing no more.
Yeah, maybe it'll start changing here in Edmonton or Alberta, not Edmonton specifically.
Winnipeg's the only place in the country I've ever been to where the liquor stores had security guards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was at a few of them last time I was there, and there were no guards. But
Well, apparently you stayed in a better neighborhood than I did.
I don't know. I was in Winnipeg.
Right. There's no good neighborhoods. There's bad and badder.
Hey.
Again, send your hate mail
Yes,
too.
there is.
All right. Speaking of hate mail, let's show Trevor's favorite new PCC coming up here. So you guys can't see, but I've got it up on the screen for everyone else here. This PCC is
Dumb.
it's
It
one
is.
that people will pine after. I think no, it's
Pine?
not. Yeah, pine after. Yes, that's correct.
There's one serious problem with this PCC.
It's a high point.
No.
5-round mags, and it's horrible.
Yes.
It's $500. It's a $500 high point.
The gun in itself, Jordan, who used to be FX Hummel 1 on YouTube years ago, had one, never had a problem with it. A lot of people have had them and have had great success with them. Say what you want about high points, they always work, right? So this high point PCC has been around a long, long time. It's been out for, a decade at least, right? No complaints. It's like all high points. 2 things. It's cheap and it works. The problem with this in Canada is the magazine, for whatever reason, there's a reason. It's explained in Special Bulletin for Businesses on Magazine Capacity number 72 by the RCMP. The reason it's explained there, the mag is restricted to 5 rounds.
Rifle.
So yes, it's non-restricted. Yes, it's $500. But A, it's a high point, and B, it's 5-round capacity.
So it's a unique mag for this gun.
That must be it. They didn't make it to use one of the high point pistol mags. That's got to be it.
That's just stupid.
Yeah. So everywhere I've seen it posted, I'm that guy, right? I'm trolling the ad going, is this the one that takes 5-round mags? Because I'm an asshole.
Yes, you are. Oh, more editing.
No, I'm not editing that. All right, moving on. Speaking of cheap firearms, here's a Girsan MC9T red dot combo for the MSRP is $565. I don't know if they'll sell for that or sell for less, but a red dot, not red dot ready. It's a red dot pistol for $560. I wonder what kind of red dot that is.
It still has a front sight on it, so there's a couple of red dots out there that are like made in China, and then they come into North America with different names put on them. So it's a cheap red dot. It's not
Well,
gonna
there's
last.
cheap red dots and there's cheap red dots because you can get ones that look kind of like this for $20 on eBay. I don't think that's what this is.
It's airsoft.
Yeah, I don't think it's an airsoft one, but I don't think it's like a fantastic quality one either.
So this gun is basically an MMP Pro. It's so the Gersan is very similar to the MMP, and this is the 5-inch version that's incredibly similar to the MMP Pro. So if you like the ergonomics and the fit and finish of an MMP, you'll like the Gersan for a lot less money.
The MC28, yeah, this one looks different. I've got an MC28 downstairs. This looks different. This is the MC9T. Yeah, look at the grip profile on it. It looks different. It looks closer to your
FN?
No. What's the one that's knocking off the Walther? Geez, it's just slipping my mind for a second.
The HK?
No, the other value-priced Turk pistol.
Canik?
Yeah, it looks kind of like the Canik.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. This isn't maybe a Canik knockoff.
I don't know. No idea, but it looks different than the MC28.
Interesting.
Yeah, the cutout on the slide is all different.
Yeah, the slide's ported all over the place.
And the locking lug on it is different too.
Cocking serrations underneath the optic, which is nice. When you buy an optic ready CZ Shadow 2, no cocking serrations in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb.
That's weird.
Dumb. Yeah, it's not just weird, it's dumb.
Yeah, if I could. Here, I've got a picture of the MC28. Yeah, fairly different look on it. Very different grip. Very different mag release.
So I was looking at the slide stop and the takedown lever and the location of the pins for the trigger group and the sear cage in the back, and that's what was making me think MMP, but no, eh?
We don't know. It could just be like different look. Same underneath.
Well, the one thing we can be sure of is Turkey doesn't really invent anything new. They just copy other stuff.
Yep.
With the exception of maybe like the Typhoon and the Daria. I don't know any other gun that.
Well, even the MC28 isn't strictly an MMP copy.
No,
it's pretty different than the MMP. Anyways, I don't want to talk about the Gersan. It's not that interesting. They've got a red dot combo for $550. That is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
A red dot pistol. Let's move on to something that's a little bit more different. Nordic has.
I'm gonna bail at that point.
You're up.
Everyone. I'm out.
It's getting late in eastern Canada.
It is. Good night,
All right.
everyone. Thanks,
Dave.
Later.
Bye, Dave.
Nordic Marksman has the Anschutz 1781 in 30-06 for right around $2,500. So if you're looking for a very fancy bolt-action hunting rifle, I think this would be a hunting rifle. Iron sights or no iron sights. You pay more for no iron sights. They're right around $2,600 from Nordic Marksman.
Interesting.
Yeah, kind of neat. Why don't we move on to the main topic? Thanks again to Tracy for coming on and letting us know all the cool stuff that the CCFR is up to. Have you guys been following the listener feedback on YouTube?
Yeah, a little bit.
And we've been following it, and we've been
commenting in there.
Yeah.
Commenting as we go. I don't know if there's anything necessarily.
Someone was saying we're going to get demonetized because I dropped a bad word.
Are we even monetized?
No. There, can't demonetize what wasn't monetized to start with.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Cool. All right. Let's head into listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca, and follow him on Facebook and Instagram. Right now, they have a Black Friday sale. They have the, I don't know how to say this, M&M, M plus M. It's M&M. The M10X.
M10X, yeah.
It's that AK-looking cool thing. It's 762 by 39, $16.99.
Yeah,
that's getting
down.
really close. Wasn't the original price of these things supposed to be like $1,500?
No, they were like $2,000.
No,
now
there were
there's-
two when this, like, that person said this, and then they came out as two, right? $16.99 is a decent price for these things.
Ours is 2 right now. We're
Mhm.
marking it down to $16.99 for Black Friday.
Woo!
Yeah.
Very
So
good. The trigger on these things are fantastic.
yeah, they've got a match grade trigger. They've got a what kind of grip is that? It's ergo. It's an ergo grip, ergo AK grip. It has a very adjustable folding stock.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's AK-esque, but I mean the charging handle's on the left hand side where it should be, and the entire top of the gun, unlike an AK, is Picatinny rail. So you can, and it's long enough, you can put some backup iron sights on there, plus red dot, or red dot and magnifier, or just straight up scope, whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Super cool, non-restricted gun. Takes AK mags in 76.2. Awesome.
In 76.2?
So, yeah, instead of saying 77.62 by 39, Daniel Shaw told us a story one time about some guy who was convinced the caliber was 76.2, not 7.62. It's a story that goes probably all the way back to like episode 4 of Slamfire Radio.
Sweet. All right. You also have the BCL 102 on sale for $13.99. And
Yeah, we got a Flat Dark Earth in stock right now.
Sweet. And you have the Chinese 76.2 by 39.
Correct.
Corrosive surplus ammo for $350 for a case of 1440 rounds.
Yeah. Sadly, I remember when those were $250 a case. Now the sale
Still
price
cheap.
is $350.
Still cheap.
Yeah, it is.
Still a boatload of ammo.
Yeah, 1,440 rounds. Hell yeah.
You're still going to just like keep hammering it in SKS and just run through it like nobody's business.
Yep. And again, the BCL 102, the fit, finish, and quality has gone up. Denise will shoot the same MOA as my Stag 10 with an IBI barrel. Factory gun, shoots MOA or better out the box. Think about that. For $13.99. My Stag 10 with the IBI barrel, with the Vortex PST, Viper PST Gen 2, a lot more than $13.99.
Yeah. Yep.
So sometimes you may be paid for the name, not the barrel. The barrel's amazing, but yeah.
Cool. All right. Listener feedback from Carson. Hey, Slackers. Some quick feedback on binos. Have you compared the new Diamondback HD binos to the Monarchs? The HDs have been greatly improved, and they come with an $85 glass pack. If warranty matters to you, it looks like Nikon have nerfed theirs. I like the gamer talk in there. Even when it was the lifetime no fault, the rep told me if there was any more damage than eye cups, they would just replace the optic. Vortex will try to repair before they replace. That says something to me about the quality of the build. Since I'm still working through my podcast backlog, the episode where you guys had Wes on talking about the shoot down in St. George was terrible.
That was.
Oh yeah, you couldn't hear
the
what
sound was
Wes
terrible.
was saying. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
some really bad audio there with Wes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I have for now. When the budget stabilizes, I'll bug Adriel about slings for Maple Seed, as I would like to get some at some point. Have a good one. I think Maple Seed's going to be selling some slings on the website very soon here, so I would get one of those. Yeah.
We'll have them resupplied soon.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure we talked about Patrick's GSG last show, didn't we?
I wasn't sure. I put it on there.
Patrick says, I recently acquired GSG 1911-22 as a budget-friendly training pistol. Based on your experiences, should I upgrade to Dawson Precision sights and install
Yes, we did. We covered
ZTRS?
this,
Yeah, we talked about this one. Yeah.
And the answer is yes to both. No, we didn't actually. There was another GSG guy.
Maybe.
So,
we
yeah,
talked
should he
about
do
the
Dawson sights?
yes.
I tell you, it's the ZTRS upgrades that I don't remember us talking about.
Well, that's the guide rod,
The guide
and the
rod,
spring,
some other
and
things,
the
yeah.
bushing, and it's like maybe it'll increase the accuracy, but so the nut behind the trigger. So the sights, though, definitely sights make a big difference because the ones it comes with are like these like yellow dot plastic things, and
Yep.
the Dawson Precision sights are much nicer.
Much nicer. And yeah, and the upgrade kit reliability.
I don't know because I don't have one on my pistol. I have the sights, and I'm like, yeah, hook me up with that every time. I know it's a $300 gun, and they're $100 sights, but I'm putting on a $300 gun. I don't care. Makes
Doesn't
it better.
matter.
Yeah.
Yep, it totally does. Yep, I would do it. I did the I didn't do the entire kit, but I did do the guide rod. At the time, you could buy the components individually, if I remember correctly, because I had a part break on mine that Blue Line, in the importer and distributor, was replacing automatically, no questions asked. And I believe it was the barrel bushing. And then so when that broke while I was waiting for the replacement, I bought the guide rod from this kit. And anyway, I never should have got rid of mine. It was amazing. And yeah, I ever since I started shooting 1911s, I kept saying I'm going to get another one, but I never do. So when you sell yours, I want it.
Oh, I'm not going to because my kid's going to use it. So find another one.
I find that hard to believe because you sell everything eventually.
True. But not.
Yeah,
Speaking
but
of
if he
which-
has something specific for his kids, you might not.
That's why I need the
No,
extra
he
safe.
just said true. I'm currently negotiating about that nylon, by the way.
Oh, excellent.
Okay.
I might not have to bring it back to the owner then. I could just mail it directly to you.
Right? I'm going to send that on as a little added bonus. By the way, if I buy it, Adriel mails it. Thank you, Adriel.
And I get to put weird stuff on the package.
Oh, damn it. No more rectal use only stickers, please.
Well, I've got so many of them.
Like,
I've got
when I go
thousands.
into the post office, my mailman looks at me with love in his eyes. Like, what's that about?
Well, I might just make a connection.
I don't want to connect with my mailman.
If you'd like to email the show, send your email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Shoutouts, Trevor.
Do I have some in there? Everybody
Yes.
came to my birthday party, maybe?
Yes,
I'm
that's what it says.
busy. All right, cool. To everyone who came to my birthday party, to the Losers Club and others, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It was an awesome time. And Gallon, all the pictures you took of me when I fell asleep, you need to delete.
Oh, he sent those. They're all over the internet.
I hate them so
Snapchat stories. Oh yeah.
And that's called
Oh.
revenge porn.
Maybe.
That's called,
And
yeah.
Joey from the shop, man. I went to the shop today to pick something up, and just as I was there, an Amazon order arrived, and it was coffee. Joey ordered this coffee that's whole bean. You got to grind yourself and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, man, I saw you got a French press, so I ordered 2 bags, one for me and one for your birthday. Here you go." So, Joey, you're the man. Thanks for the coffee for my birthday.
Cool. Kelly, do you have any shoutouts?
My shout outs are just to the ladies and everybody with respect to the calendar. It's been a long, hard year, and I just wanted to say thank you. You guys rock, especially Tracy and Kelly and Jamie Elliott, who is our little group with respect to the calendar. But also to Greg Weiss, this hat, fantastic. I got a new hat, Colt Canada, yeah. So thanks.
How many gun hats do you have?
I have enough to actually probably do one hat. So here's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do a different hat, and I'm going to do a different t-shirt every show. I'll have enough to actually get through a year. Well, I still have some left over.
I love the confidence. It's like, yeah, no, easily.
Easily. Yes.
If she doesn't, Greg will buy her more.
Yes.
There we go. I got a shout out for Rick for driving across Canada again.
Again.
Not even like once this year, but twice. I think this is twice.
3.
This
Three?
is.
He's been to your house
and-
twice, plus he was at the charity shoot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he's going out to New Brunswick as well. He's going to be going in November.
Just really likes maple seed. Well, I appreciate it because it makes it easier for us to get our local area set up out here. So I appreciate that. I appreciate what you guys are doing as well, Kelly. You're helping set up those calls and basically just saying what do we need to be successful. So you guys are making it easy for us to get set up in all these different areas.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you guys, because if it's not for you, then, basically by next year I'd be bald and losing my mind.
I
CBD.
Kelly, I don't want to see that either of those. partial
I'd be
to your
looking like
hair.
Adriel.
You would fit in better with the show if you were bald.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't I? Slamfire
all right.
Radio, the follically challenged.
The follically challenged Slamfire Radio. Patreon supporters, we have 2 new Patreonies, 3 new Patreonies, and
4.
1 up their pledge. So Philip,
Yeah,
Harry,
that's it.
Mitchell, and Corey, who likes to play with old tractors, thank you very much for the help in getting the show going and upgrading our computers when they don't work properly and getting us better headsets and microphones and all this other kind of stuff so that we sound better and we don't sound like crap when we're recording the show. If you'd like to help, head on over to patreon.com/slamfireradio. We'll send you a sticker and a patch in the mail if you send us your address. And your money will go towards making the show better. We'll also get you access to special Patreon-only episodes of the show that we do about once a month. You can also help us by visiting our website and clicking on links to Cabela's if you're going to just buy something online from them anyways. Please join our national firearms associations, such as the CCFR. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. Like us on Facebook. And we'll see you next week.
Awesome.
Good night.